everyone, Ben Woodruff here with another falconry video. Today's video, I'm actually going to be talking about tidbitting in the field. And hopefully I'm going to save you a lot of trouble and keep you from ruining a bird, especially if you're a new falconer. See a lot of apprentices falling into this pitfall. So, how this starts. As you know, when we're training our birds to feed off the fist, that's kind of the first step. And we get them to eat off the fist, hop to the fist, fly to the fist indoors, then we go outside with a long leash called a crayons and we fly them on a leash. And then eventually comes the big day. You're a new falconer. And for my examples on this video, I'm going to use a red-tailed hawk just for consistency. So here you are, a new falconer. You've trapped a red-tailed hawk from the wild, which seems like a miraculous thing in and of itself. This is a young bird, not a baby. This is important to remember. So it doesn't know any different. It just knows, oh, mom and dad raised me, then mom and dad abandoned me, and when I was hungry enough, I left the nest and I went flying. I started hunting. This falconer caught me and he started offering me food, and now I'm flying to his fist. That's where they're at in their progression. This is all normal in their mind. You are, wow, this is amazing. The bird is actually flying. We're building trust. We're making a connection of sorts. And then comes the day when you fly them free. Your heart's beating, you're panicking. Am I going to lose my bird? If you've done anything right, everything right, and your sponsor's helping you, hopefully you got things right on target, and your bird flies up, totally free, untethered, and lands on your fist. The heavens open, you hear, ah! A shaft of light shines down. You cannot believe it. It is one of the greatest feelings to experience. And you only get to do it once with a first bird. It's always, to me, special, and to most falconers it is, every bird. But that first bird and that first free flight, wow, it's an experience few people can understand. Now you go from there. You get them into hunting, you get them into coming to a lure and flying free, exercising, whatever. Now from then on, normally if you are flying them to the fist for any reason, you use a tidbit, which is a small piece of meat, something that's too small for them to fill up on, but big enough to be a reward. Now, remember, anytime I make a video and it involves food, remember my perspective is that the relationship with food is fluid. You can make food on the fist more or less important, food on the lure more or less important, making a kill on prey a greater a reward or a lesser reward, depending on how much you feed up on them. So no matter what I say, always remember that. Remember that principle. This is a fluid, changeable thing. But tidbitting, you are really enjoying this, flying your bird to the fist. Maybe you go down to a local park and you fly your red-tailed hawk. It flies to a tree and comes in. I'm like, I'm exercising my bird. I'm building that bond. True, you are. And then you get into the field. Let's say you're out here in Utah in the West. We hunt jackrabbits, big open country, and maybe there's some trees and cliffs here and there. You're out hunting, and your bird sees a rabbit and goes after it. It misses, lands on a sagebrush. Huh? Looks over at you. What do? You're a new apprentice. You're like, I gotta get him back. You get a little tidbit, put it on your glove. Do, 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 do. They come and they land on your glove. And your bird's like, hey, all right. See another rabbit. Your bird goes chasing the rabbit, misses, lands on a tree, out of your reach. You're like, oh, you get another tidbit. You put it on the glove, your bird do, 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 comes back. Next thing you know, your bird takes off. And you don't see a rabbit. It's not chasing anything. It just goes, lands on a telephone pole or a tree, looks at you, and you're like, oh, okay. You call back in. What has happened here? You have ceased training your bird. Your bird is now training you. And especially for a new falconer, this is easy to mess up on because you're still enthralled and entranced by the magic of being able to call this amazing, beautiful bird from the heavens down to your fist predictably. You're still amazed by that. It's understandable, but here's what you need to do to address this situation. You need to understand the mindset of this bird in the wild. In the wild, that bird would have found an alfalfa field filled with voles and gophers and mice and started hunting there. And it learns, gee, these perches are better. Every day I wake up, I go to a certain perch, food appears, I try to get it. And whatever is the easiest meal it will go for. And it will adjust. When I'm on that section of the field, the alfalfa is taller, it's harder to get a kill. Over here, it's fresh cut, it's easier to get a kill. Even to the extreme where birds of prey we'll see where when a farmer plows their field with the machinery, that plow digs up the burrows of the rodent and displaces them and even kills them. And hawks will follow along behind tractors and behind farm machinery, eating these dug up rodents. They're smart. They learn. They adjust. Highly adaptable, highly intelligent creatures. So when they have learned, hey, if I'm on the fist, there's no food. But if I'm away from the fist, that person will call me for food. Well, then I ought to leave the fist as often as I can. Next thing you know, your bird completely stops chasing any quarry, because why would you go to the trouble of trying to chase a giant jackrabbit when you can just as easily land on the ground and your falconer will call you up, land on a tree, land on a pole. So that is the problem. That is what happens. It can absolutely ruin a hunt and absolutely ruin the mind of a bird. Now, most birds that have had this happen to them, the situation can be corrected. It can be turned back on the correct course. That is partly what a sponsor is there for. Sponsor is there to help you see when that starts to happen, when you are making that food relationship of leaving the fist and flying back to it too important. That's why in some of my other videos I also mentioned during the training process, this is preemptive, is when you're calling your bird to the fist in training on a leash, don't fly them back. Walk them back and set them down. And if they try to jump, turn your back so you are blocking the perch and then put them on it. You want to do everything you can to make sure that you have some relationship with flying to the fist, but you want to incentivize them to where the hunt and the kill and eating a good meal off of that is a bigger reward and a more worthwhile reward than flying to the fist. So again, always listen to your sponsor's advice on this matter, but I hope that this video preemptively lets you watch for this problem. And if your bird starts taking off, realize they're not just flying, they are training you. They've figured you out. So don't just automatically give them food. Now, here's a quick solution on how to do that. One solution is, if your bird is starting to do this and it lands on a tree, walk up to your bird and try to flush rabbits towards it. If there's nothing, then walk past the bird and keep going. And they're like, wait, where's the food person going? They fly up to you, keep walking. They fly up to the next tree, keep walking. And you, in this way, teach them to follow you. This is very good in wooded areas and people who use red-tailed hawks to hunt squirrels and cottontail rabbits. But even in the open country, this is a better way to do things. And they learn to then see you as a flushing dog. That, oh, this human, yeah, they'll call me down at the end if we don't get anything. But if I keep with them, food will appear because they are flushing. I am in an advantageous position, and a high up position is almost always a better place to hunt from than just a few feet off the ground, off the fist. So, hope this proves useful. Watch for these potential problems and jump on top of them if you see them starting to emerge. And as always, happy hawking.